Start.
Welcome to the face-to-face for the best of seven match between Calvin Omega and Mr. Wheat. How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Paul.
My name's not Paul.
Oh, Richard.
Uh,
Uh,
oh,
yeah, Cal, how you doing?
I'm, I'm doing pretty good. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm all right. Man, no one ever gets my name. Uh, who do you think is
Yeah.
gonna win between you two in the best of seven match?
That's a good question, Jason. Um, I think overall the better man wins. And plain and simple, I am the better man. I mean, even if you look at this poster, the one who created it saw that I was the better fighter, the better person, and decided to finish my side and leave his side
That's just
unfinished.
the way it was printed. That's the way it was printed. I could have put
I
you on that
think
side
that
and would
was
have
on
done the exact
purpose.
same thing.
I
No,
think it was on purpose.
no, you've seen the original poster. Okay, so
I think even
he's
subconsciously the game recognized that you are simply an inferior opponent and didn't want to give you the ink to finish your portrait.
it's crazy. All right, well, can I speak now, Jeffrey? Yeah.
Sure, fuck.
Um, I think it's not much of a question. I mean, this is coming from the guy who's really struggling to get on the baby's level, from what it seems, and I'm a lot closer to that from what we seem to be discussing. I think after this, it's just gonna prove that you might be stuck on 3 or 4 after I beat you. I think I'm gonna be resting at 2 after I beat you, number 2 all time. No, it doesn't matter who likes it or not. I'm gonna beat you. 7 matches, 7 different ways I'm gonna beat you. 7 different outfits, 7 different eras. 12 rounds too. If I pull that knockout on you too, that's like, even though it might not happen, we're gonna go 84 rounds in total, and you're gonna win maybe none of them.
You're a fucking chink. That was a low blow, you goddamn son of a bitch.
Uh, I don't know what to say
Next
about
person,
that
Mason.
one, guys. It's place nice in the sandbox, I guess. Fucking Calvin and fat ass. Anyways, um,
Goddamn
who
Paris.
would you, Mr. Wheat? Who would you be going after this match?
Um, after this match, so after I win, I know that during these matches I'm fighting Todd. I think the only match realistically that I should be fighting after I beat Cal is Mamba. Um, I don't think Mamba is crazy like a challenge or anything, but he's just someone who is on the top 10 in my opinion, who I haven't fought. Well, I have fought, beat him, FNL, but it was fucking what's it called?
Exhibition.
Exhibition, exhibition, and so we don't count those. Um, but yeah, I think Mamba is the only realistic fighter, unless someone like the
Well, if
babies or
we want to count those, that means you'd lose to H2O, which means be 2-2. Correct.
True.
So,
2-1 with H2O, only one with a positive record against him. Just saying.
or, you could just accept 2-2, and then you can say you beat Mamba. And then you'd have a positive record against Mamba. Tied record. Only tied record if they show, but
But I
I don't think
think
there was
it'd
actually.
just be easier to beat Mamba. I mean, if
That's
someone
fair.
as inferior as you can do it, I think obviously I can do it.
No, maybe I'm just trying to warn you a little bit, because I don't know if you got what it takes anymore. You did this for 3 years, and since since your last fight, which your last actual fight, uh, I don't even know who that was. Maybe Detron, like PVC. If we don't count Mr. IDK, which we won't get on topic about. Like your last act. Oh no, you fought Alex. You fought Alex in WBE. Yeah, but he's the last actual tough opponent. That was a long time ago. That was probably the babies, BBL. And now I don't know if fighters have just evolved more or something, but I came in a generation when you weren't, you left already, and
I mean, there
I
was nothing left to do. I'd beaten everyone.
So
Just on top.
basically, you're
Absolutely.
saying that
is
Wheat is
that
washed
why
up.
I'm not saying he's washed up, but I'm saying I got more in the tank than he does,
You want to know
and
something about that? You know how many times I've been called washed? You know how many times I've gone on multiple month breaks, come back, been called washed? Oh, wheat, you'll never be as good as you once were.
well,
Oh,
no,
wheat, you're ass
I
now.
could sit here
And
and
then
call
you know
you
the people
washed.
I beat? You know the people I beat when I've been called washed? oh,
No,
he's
that's the
gone for a
thing. That's the
4 month
thing. The
break. He
people you've
can't beat
beat,
anybody.
the
Comes
people
back,
you've
beats
beat,
H2O and
the
the
people
babies.
you've beat. That's why we're having to debate if you're number 2 all time or not. Because the people you've beat, the records. You said there was nothing left for you to do. Is that why the top 10 you have a positive record against only one person? Which happens to be the best person on that list. Congrats to you. But other than that, I feel like there was a lot left more for you to do, and you just decided to let
It's
it all
valid.
go.
Sadly, during my long break, my 8 month break or something like that, there were some fighters I wasn't able to fight. Cesaro. I didn't ever fought Motive. The reason why I never fought Mamba is because he simply was never on my level, like most people were at the time. Not on my level.
Are you talking about the
Um,
white one or the black one? If you know what I'm saying.
White one.
The
Mm.
white one, yeah.
And so yeah, there's definitely some people I need to fight, and hopefully I can get to fight them. Um,
All right. Well, I have to ask a few more questions. So would you guys for a minute? You know what I'm saying? Where would you put yourself on all time for like best boxers? Where would you guys put yourself?
you
Like,
can
give
go
me your
first.
list. Give me your list of
3.
your all times.
If I'm gonna be real honest, if I want to be humble and I'm not gonna like care if anybody gets hurt by this or not, 3. I'm better than Zayn. That's confirmed. Anybody who there was a list that was made. I was number 6. I'm no. I've done more overall. I've beaten probably better people too. There's nothing Zayn's done that I haven't really. I even matched up, if not past his KO, his knockout record. And I don't know what he's about to say, but it's probably gonna be something against me. Zayn Solo's kid. No, Zayn refused to fight me. That's completely up to him. He had the chance to fight me for months straight. I think I'm really close to the babies, if not past. I find maybe behind him by one spot, but no more than one spot, because I've done
You're
just
talking
about
about the
everything.
almost one of the greatest of all time, the babies. You're saying you're better than him? Is that what you're telling me?
Babies ain't do
You
shit.
haven't been around lately. You haven't been around lately, so you gotta like understand like what level I'm at. The babies and I, we have a very similar career. Uh, we've had similar matches and stuff, accomplishments and stuff. They're kind of relatively related. I don't know. We, I, I'm 2-2 with the babies. I've never fought yet, so this is why we're doing this to prove who's better. After I beat Wheat, I think I could settle at 2, and I don't really care
Ooh.
who gets butthurt by it or not. Only person that can be above me is H2O, I guess, but that's his fault because he left before I could prove that wrong.
Where
We
would
could
you
prove
put
that wrong, or
wheat
well,
on the all-time list?
um, I think right now before I can prove it, I haven't proved it yet, so he's one above me. I find it, uh, it's difficult because me and the babies are so close, and I feel like Wheat's past me, but then I don't know if that puts the babies 2 spots in front of me. So the babies and Wheat would probably be 3 or 2, and right now I'm probably resting at 4 unless you put me past the babies. So I rest at 3 or 4 right now, and then I'm just slowly working my way up to number 2.
All right. So where would you put yourself on all-time wheat?
All time, pound for pound, 2 or 3. It depends on what you value. H2O, obviously the GOAT. People hate to say it, but he is. His all-time
Mm.
head-to-head counts against everybody. He doesn't have that many achievements. He honestly was not champion of that many leagues or did that much in terms of titles, but he's the GOAT. No one can argue that's undisputable. I think it'd be kind of difficult to pass that up and take number 1 for anybody. In terms of number 2, the only person who could be argued to be ahead of me is the babies. His head-to-head count, 1, me and him I'm 1-2 with him. He's beaten me twice. I beat him once. He didn't want to fight a 4th time because after he lost to Cal, he left, which no shame in that. You take a pretty bad loss, you want to take a break. That's fine. Um, but in terms of his achievements, very minimal compared to mine. Another thing too, you look at pound for pound, you look at like legacy, like what they did during their time period. He didn't have this span of dominance that I think I had. Just quick statistic. Uh, Over the course of my career, champion across 10 leagues, 7 of which undisputed, which means I didn't lose a match. Um, and so it's like, that's crazy. Um, But sadly, yeah, my head-to-heads aren't the greatest, especially right now. Only person I have a positive KD with is H2O, which he is the best. That's definitely an achievement.
With you
And then
saying
I
that
have Luke.
H2O's the GOAT,
Just cut you
wasn't he
off.
knocked out by Atomic?
Very true. But however, we can't necessarily use that against him. It was an unofficial match. It was a tag team, not a 1v1.
We're not
So
going to talk
can't
about the
really use it
fact that I
here.
absolutely obliterated him the entire fight, and then I gave Atomic the last hit.
I don't think that matters. All anyone cares about in the end is who knocked him out, who was standing over the body, and frankly, you weren't there. So
So,
did you even
so
really
we're, no,
contribute?
no. If we're going to talk about that, then that leads us to Zayn. You have a couple complaints about your matches with him, and if all that matters is who stands on top at the end, that means Zayn's. There's no complaint there. Zayn's beating you, unfair or fair or not. It, that means no,
Like
whether
I
you
said,
have a
I'll
fat
give it to
suit
him. So
on.
me and Zane's record is 0-3. He's beat me 3 times. And I can say a bunch of fucking bullshit excuses. I can mention how in our second match I threw in the towel because I was beating his ass so bad that I wanted to fight him when he was better. I can say that. I can say that that's what caused him and Kirida's relationship to go downhill. I can say that in our third fight, Dice made me wear a fucking fat suit which restricted my movement the entire match. And I can say that I was in a small closet surrounded by little kids that want to punch their face. I can say
You're
these
saying
things,
all these
but I'm
things.
not going to because I
You
don't want to
just
be a
said
little bitch.
you just
Because
said
only
them
little
all.
pussies, only little bitches make excuses. Okay, you hear that? Only
But
little
aren't
bitches.
those excuses you just named off?
No, no, no. Those. If I was a little bitch, I
Wouldn't
would
that
name
be an
those off.
excuse?
Those are examples. No, no, those are
Hmm,
examples. You're not
right.
understanding. I'm in college. I'm in university. I think I know what I'm talking about. Um,
Hmm.
he's not. I think he's failing. I think he's like 20 assignments behind in school. So I need him to shut the fuck up. This is my expertise here. But no, I think the babies. I think it's you can say he's number 2. But I think after if I were to beat Cal and if I were to beat Mamba and have those 2 positive head-to-heads and possibly there's a few other people I'm trying to get in touch with to come back and fight to adjust some of my worser head-to-heads. I think it's undisputed. The thing is too, in terms of the babies head-to-heads, it's not that great. He does. I think he's positive on 3 people.
If we're going
He's like
heads to heads, I have
down.
the best head to heads in the top 10.
He does have the best head-to-heads, but his achievements are kind of bullshit, which is besides the point.
My achievements are probably better than. You could arguably say they're better than the babies.
Oh, they're 100% better than babies. Your achievement, your list is the babies is kind of pathetic.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Um,
mine. Oh, there you go. You can continue
no, the
complimenting me.
babies is
I interrupted.
pathetic. Yours is pretty decent, but it's kind of like shit leagues and like doesn't even matter. But that's besides the point.
It's not
Not you.
true.
You weren't really champion. You were just kind of like, oh, I want a fucking trophy, which is some pussy shit. Trophies are for bitches. Winners take belts. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyway,
Okay, I just
Also,
want to
um,
say, Green the
speaking
Gold
of
Cup,
you
bigger than
saying,
most of the belts you won. What the?
I won more belts. 100% guaranteed.
I
Don't
don't
even
know
make me
about
whip
that.
out. Don't even make me whip out the list. Don't even make me fucking whip out the list, Cal.
We'll be sitting here all day. No, not because
90%.
it's a lot, but it's because you're going to give a background history of every
No.
single belt. Yeah,
Oh, that's true. That is true. I love
yeah.
my history. I'm a history buff in this game. Um, and so that's probably unnecessary here. I mean, his would take 2 minutes because he has like 2 belts he won. Fucking
That's
KO,
true.
I think is one of them.
20.
That
I never
league.
fought in KO. I
Anyway,
refuse to fight in KO.
anyway,
You
continue.
see, it putting stuff in, putting words in my mouth.
I don't even
well,
know what he's
speaking
fucking
of you
saying.
saying H2O's the GOAT, wasn't your first fight at FNL against him? And didn't you win?
My that's not true at all. My first fight in FNL was against Abuela. Um, Step in and out Abuela, great fighter. Not really, absolutely crushing him, but he's a good guy. Actually, I like you, Abuela. You're a chill dude. I've talked to you before.
He's
First fight in
Hmm.
FNL was against Step in and out Abuela, and I beat him.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of another one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Thinking of the actual Fight Night League. Whoops. So, is there any bad blood between any of the fighters, including Cal?
Um, Me and H.O.
Are
are
you
fine.
interviewing him?
Me and the
Or
babies. The thing with the babies is that I think we both respect each other as fighters, and we have differing opinions sometimes. But I think simply, I can't look at him and be upset. He's done so much for the community. He's a good guy. Zane, fine with him. I think I'm fine with pretty much everybody on the list. Cal's a piece of shit. As much
all
as
right,
I like him as a person, I think he's too cocky. He's too up and coming. He thinks he deserves too much. He feels like the world owes him everything, but he hasn't done anything to gain it. You know? Oh, he beat a
really?
few. mid-tier fighters when he was up and
Mid-tier
coming.
fighters. So no,
Okay.
I thought we just said I have the
Okay.
best head-to-heads at the top 10. I'm pretty sure you
does.
haven't beaten Mamba in an official fight.
But listen to this.
You
Listen to me when I
you
say
haven't
this.
beaten
Listen to
Mamba.
me when
You
I
haven't
say
beaten
this.
the babies twice.
Everybody below top 5, everybody below top 3, don't
You
mean
have a
shit.
negative record with Kirito.
Everybody, don't bring up that
How do you
fucking
do
match
that?
with Kirito.
How do you do that? How do you have a negative record with Kirito? I've beaten him
I'm
5
0-1
times.
with Kirito. I'm 0-1
You haven't
with
beaten
Kirito.
Todd yet.
And I
I've
just want to
beaten Todd.
point out, something with that
I beat
fucking match. And
Cesaro.
only bitches would point things out. Only bitches would point things out. So a bitch,
No, it's time to point things
hypothetically,
out.
a
No,
bitch here
no.
would point out how in
If we're
that
gonna get,
match,
if we get
I
really
was winning the
statistical,
fucking match, and then a lag spike hits, and then it's like slideshow frames, and he gets behind me, admits to this next part that I'm about to say, starts fucking backhanding me and just swinging wildly because he was like, oh, it's lagging so bad, as you would do, you're scared. And so he cheated. And then after the lag spike ends, I'm at like 2-shot, even though I was winning before the lag spike. And whatever, I ended up losing the match because I can't deal with fucking losing. And Bandicoot refused to do the thing. That's a hypothetical situation of what a bitch would say. Doesn't he have an attention span? Look at him fucking falling asleep. Fucking dreaming about
oh,
beating me.
I thought we were watching one of your matches. My bad. But no, it's you and Kirito. I mean, sure, there's an excuse. There's an excuse with you and Zane. There's an excuse everywhere for you. You don't
No,
have a
I didn't
positive
say.
record with the babies. Zane, no. You've been around longer than I have, and you've had the chances to. I joined like right before it was too late, and then I managed to get all of it done, and you weren't able to do it in the 3 years you've been. I think
In the time,
that should be
whenever
taken
he
note.
came, the thing he's talking about, it's his fault. There's like 17 different fucking leagues where he could fight in. Back in my
No,
day,
when
there's
I
2
started,
leagues,
there were
2 or
when
3
I
leagues.
started BBL, FNL, PBC, and then ABL very occasionally.
Don't talk about that bullshit. He's the reason when he became CEO of PBC that a bunch of fucking splinter leagues came up. And I blame him for the death of fucking Rec Room Boxing. It became oversaturated, became fucking useless, unenjoyable.
I don't think you
These
can
new
speak because
gens,
you left. You
limps,
left.
people like
You
that,
left.
getting 70 wins in 3 months or something crazy
It
like that.
was
How do you do that?
overshadowed by Rec Room Wrestling. So, I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
that's a valid point. But the
Rec
thing
Room
is,
Wrestling
Cal,
is
the
the
thing
new
I'm
big money.
confused about is you talk about all these achievements, how you did all this shit. Look at my records. People don't care about you. You don't have the legacy. You may have beat these people, but where was your dominance? Where was the time where people were like, yeah, Cal's number 2, Cal's number 1. Oh my God, is that Cal? I would hate to step in the ring with him because he'd fucking destroy me. No one says that. Maybe in your dreams people say that.
I've heard nothing you've said since you said legacy. My audio
Scared.
completely went out. But you said something about people don't care about my legacy or something like that. People only care about yours because you've been here that long. You were the top fighter when they joined. When I joined, the people that called you the top fighters were top fighters then. I managed to join. I worked my way to the very top, and I didn't get an easy route either. I didn't start when everybody was crap. I started from the very bottom. My first debut match, Alex lost. I came up very short. I almost won, but I lost. And then I beat MJ.
Same.
Got
Similar story.
my fifth match, fastest knockout on Youngin. Fastest knockout. The guy who absolutely obliterated Mamba a week before. I worked my way up. And you're right, because people didn't care, which is the annoying thing that did bother me. Because people were looking at Mamba more than they were me when I've done more than Mamba was doing, and he had been there for way longer. It's more about the fact that people have been here longer than I have, and that's why people look up to people that aren't me. But now at this point, I've done everything there is left to do. It doesn't matter if people care or not, because I've done it. That's why people like ranking me so low. Like Mamba wanted to rank me number 7 because I came up short with H2O barely, and we even made official that match was no contest. Like people want to take credit for me, and people haven't done that for you.
I just want to point out a bullshit excuse that all these like new gens and people want to use. All these people when they want to talk about top rankings. And yes, back in the day, the skill level, skill floor, and skill ceiling is like down there. It was lower, but we all were a part of that skill floor and that skill ceiling. One of the people who was pushing that ceiling up. But that doesn't fault me. I was fighting the same competition. It was my era. It was the era I was fighting in.
Was it your era?
Dominated that era. Yeah, I'd say it was my era.
What about Zane?
Zane dipped,
And
and
the
there was a
babies?
good chunk of time where it was just me. It was
What about
not
the
the
babies?
babies era. The babies
What about
did
H2O?
fucking screen fighting. H2O came in near the end of it, yeah. H2O
So
has an
basically,
era. That's why he's the fucking goat. That's why H2O he has a giant era where he's just number one. Um,
I think your era consisted more of the good OG fighters that nobody hears about anymore, like Stepan and Ablela or whatever his name was. Maybe not good or whatever, but like all these fighters, Sea Cooker, nobody really talks about anymore. Mario Man, people talk about every now and then, but they don't really admire his legacy as a fighter. Uh, I don't know who else. Flim Flop, I don't know. All these old
Mr.
fighters that
Flip
nobody
Flop.
really knows about. And I feel like you focus more on those fighters and you did the top 10, or maybe not the top 10 at the time, but the fighters that were getting to the top, which is why you have such bad head-to-heads, and you're having to drag back fighters that to get that hand upon, like maybe Kurito if you ever get him back. Um, Zane, I highly doubt that. I don't think Zane would ever come back for anyone at this point. Uh, I think there's a lot left for you to do still, and there's not much left for me to do, and I've been here way shorter than you have.
So you're basically saying your legacy will be remembered and his is still going.
Mine's
Yours will
still
be
going.
remembered.
I think mine's gonna be remembered. If people, even if people don't want to remember at this point, uh, it's hard not to remember what I've done at this point. These I ran. We're not. That's not like signify my pound for pound ranking. It's just stuff I've done, and 2022 was my era overall. Who is this? Aren't you a sword fighter?
You see, that's a good question, Crisis.
Well, I have one more question for you guys, and then yeah. What is your strategy for beating Cal in this best of seven
That was
match?
not a
What's your
question for us,
strategy?
but that was a question for him.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
gonna ask you what's your strategy for him.
Oh,
Dumb
all
nuts.
right. There you go. And that's two questions.
my strategy for beating Cal. I don't know if I have a strategy. Cal is very predictable. He's very easy. I feel like every time I've sparred him, maybe he'll pull out one special thing within like a spar. Boom, I figured it out. When I first came back, when he was like beating the baby, not the babies, when he was beating Mamba, he was rivaling H2O, he was talking about all his like skill or whatever. Immediately within the first spar, I saw his movement. Immediately, I was able to pick out what he was doing wrong and how I could counter it. And so for him to think that going 12 rounds with me in 7 matches, that I'm not, even if he does go crazy in the first one, that I'm not going to adapt and just overcome him is ridiculous.
All right.
Hmm.
So Cal, what's your strategy for beating MR.Wheat?
I mean, there was really no strategy for when I beat Mamba. The babies, there was really no strategy except do what works. H2O really had no strategy against, and he kind of he became a big letdown. People try to like Todd Cesaro. There's never been really a strategy. You gotta figure out during the matches. And I got 84 chances to figure this out. It's not that rough. 84 rounds, 7 different matches. I'll be perfectly fine. And I think I might be a little overwhelmed, which is why he's talking a lot more smack than usual. Except hopefully this time he backs it up. But I
Oh,
don't think that's gonna happen. And if you do back it up, I hope you go on to beat Mamba. Hope you beat Todd. Hope you beat whoever else started ruining your legacy way back. But at the end of the day, I can. I'm gonna take the top of the mountain, and the only person that's gonna be above me is H2O. And then if he comes back and you know he chills whatever's wrong with him, I'll prove uh I'll prove him wrong too, and then I can be number one.
the issue is if he loses to me here, I beat him, he's still below me. And the thing is, I'm just going to be that boulder, that wall that he has to get across. He's not going to be able to do it. I'll still be here. I will stay around just so he can stay below me. Because I have things I need to do still, apparently. Being as extremely dominant as I was for
Not with
fucking
the head-to-head
years
say.
doesn't mean shit, apparently, to people. And so, yeah, I'll stay around. I'll beat the top fighters. I'll do it all again. I don't give a fuck. I did it every time. I'd be the best, go on a break, come back,
I
be the
think the
best,
outfit's
go on a
getting to
break,
you.
come
Looking
back.
out way too emo.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Your
Um,
outfit.
but yeah, I don't know. And I think he mentioned the thing about all these matches, all these rounds that he'll be able to adapt and get better. He's not known for that. He's not known. for his fucking ring skills, his ring sense. I don't think he's not known. He's known for being short. He's known for going low. And I think
Not short.
that's going to be an aspect of his
Like an
fighting
inch shorter
style.
than
He's
me.
going to try and go low and hit me.
The excuses.
If he does anything else, he's fucked. He's screwed.
I'm excited to hear what you gotta say after all this, because all this hype, it's really for nothing except to build me even higher. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. All those arenas. Maybe not all of them. I'm sure it'll go back and forth a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have four wins, and you're gonna have whatever. I'm gonna have at minimum 4 wins, to be exact. We got PBC Apex, we got FN Underwage, BBL Arena, RRB Arena, HVC, I don't, WBE Stadium, UBA Grand. Yeah, I'll be perfectly fine. I think he knows it. He'll underestimate me a little bit, I'm sure, because we have sparred, and when it comes to spars, he has beaten me a good amount in spars, but
About
no, it's not
90%
gonna
of the
matter.
time.
Not
About
90%,
90% of the
maybe
time.
60.
Maybe 95.
I
I
made
was being a little
I
generous
made
there.
you I
Maybe
made you
more
rage
realistic.
quit.
About
I
95.
made you rage quit.
I've also made him rage quit. That's not an
That's
accomplishment.
not true.
He's short. If you're just short, you make me rage quit. That's all you have to do.
Uh-huh.
Well, all right then. I have off-topic question. What do you think? What are your thoughts about the wrestling overtaking rec room boxing?
I think it's stupid. I don't know. I mean, if they like doing
Yeah,
rec room
it's
boxing,
garbage.
it's fine. Or wrestling, it's fine. But it's all like
It's not.
staged and like pre-done. It's kind of
No.
upsetting because Scratch, I think, went to wrestling, and Scratch was the owner of Power Boxing along with another guy. People don't like Scratch. Apparently, he did some pretty fucked up things while I was gone. So I'm not like supporting him or anything. But he did run Power Boxing, which is kind of that if I had to put my name attached to any league that I was the dominant one in, it was power boxing. It was just that was my league. No one could beat me. I was the most dominant there. And so it's something I kind of miss. I wish it could come back, but with him doing wrestling and because wrestling's so popular, I don't see him coming back to boxing since it's kind of in a downward spiral at the moment.
It
Oh,
makes H2O look straight. It's garbage. Uh, I've seen, and the thing is, there's probably more beef there than it is here, and this is competitive. But over there, it doesn't matter who's better than the other. It's all up to the freaking owner. If they say you're gonna win this, don't tell the other opponent. You're gonna win, and then there's gonna be even more beef. I don't get the point of it. And the thing is, there is actual like it's toxic there. Like there's actual heat and beef between people, and they know I can just imagine them kissing up to the owners of the leagues like, please let me win. I can't let this guy beat me. It's stupid. And then they try competing with us. And then we've had so much heat with people like Dustin, people like Scratch, RZW as a whole. It's stupid. And the only good thing I've seen of it so far is Bandy's new thing. It's like Diamond Pro Champion Wrestling or something. And then
yeah, I saw Bandy switch from his boxing to
yeah,
wrestling.
which kind of sucks because BBL, he kind of just left BBL hanging because of it. But it sucks overall. So I don't care what anybody says.
Well, that's all my questions I got for you guys. Thanks for coming, and that's all.
Thank you,
Oh, fuck me. Okay, I'm gonna take a piss. I gotta pee so bad.
Mike.